once again to What's Happening, the new and irregular broadcast from me, Leonard Skully PhD. For this episode, we're looking at events covering June 2013, and I have lots of shows for your delectation this month. But first I should mention the activities of my own audio laboratories, Leonard Skully Records. The Bibles have just released their debut album 7 Songs, links to which can be found below. Do not be confused, however, there are 10 songs in this album. The Bibles are Nick Alexander and Florian Fushko, who met each other in Manchester in 2010. After a chat in a pub, Nick agreed to Florian's proposal, to be pursued by a giant letter E. The pair worked together, with Zach Hain, on the soundtrack for the group art show Twee Porn at Croc Gallery, and decided to continue making music together. They call themselves The Bibles after attending a wedding. Florian has crafted a music video for the Bibles song Two-Tail Girl, which I am reliably informed is a love letter to Japanese folklore. Also in the Leonard Skully Records stable, we have the marvelous sounds of the Jungfraus, who, prior to their upcoming album, which will be released later this year, have just released their first single, You Won't Catch Me. The Jungfraus are a 5-piece psychedelic pop band from Manchester and the surrounding environs. I personally cannot wait for Manchester to get hip to the Jungfraus. Remember where you heard this first. And so, to the main part of my show. What's happening in Manchester this month? Well, on the 3rd of June at Croc we have, all the way from Groningen in the Netherlands, Wolvon, whose mesmerizing mixture of post-wave, dream pop, noise and krautrock has been captured on their new album Folds. The band are on tour in the UK promoting this captivating new work. Support comes from another piece of Leonard Skully Records livestock in the form of Politburo and 2 new Manchester bands called Secretaire and Luna Marada. Within the Hindu pantheon, elephant-headed god Ganesha is widely revered as the remover of obstacles. Worshippers would honour him so as to have their own personal hurdles removed. Such worship is not to be expected from a northern UK band, but this indeed has happened. And so, on the 13th of June at Gulliver's, we have the joyful crowd abandon of Salford Media City. The band are performing at the night which is known to punters as Stroke Club, previously described if you were listening to my last presentation. Also playing are Jazz Hands, who I've been warned are manic scouse racketeers, and engage in performance poetry and apocalyptic noise. On the artistic side of affairs, we're going to be travelling to Berkeley House and Whitworth Street West, where on the 15th of June we will find part 1 of the art exhibition Bring Me the Head of Damien Hirst. Artist Richard Shields and his assistants will be exploring the nature of a hierarchy founded in the Renaissance and manipulated in the present. The Renaissance provided a formula regarding art hierarchy with money and authority at the pinnacle of the mountain. When an artist's skills were brought to the attention of a Grand Duke or a Pope, large commissions ensued. These jobs were too large or in too great a number for one artist, so assistants were employed to execute the artist's vision. Today, we still have that process in effect, and in no small part in its delivery is provided by one Damien Hirst. The difference with Hirst in this formula is that he has also become one of the largest collectors in the UK. Hirst has in effect become the artist's Pope. In recent years, we've seen the rise of the collector and new heights of recognition for the curator, neither of whom are exclusively involved in the act of making, but their input and influence has helped reshape the visual art landscape. The institutions, curators and collectors are, for Shields, playing the roles of new and contemporary pontiffs. Interesting. The show runs to the 23rd of June. On the 16th of June, 1858, Abraham Lincoln declared, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." On the same day this year, Left Hand Path promoters, Left Hand Path, present at Croc Wölfbait from Dublin, who blend White House-style noise with early Swans riffs to tyrannical effect. Joining them are Salford's own galactic drone pioneers Gnod, who will be bringing their grooves to the deepest recesses of the minds of our psychedelic forefathers. Also, the plague cats of Wode will be rumbling into town, bringing with them the sickness that they call metal. Opening the show is Roases, who, and I hope I pronounce his name correctly, is one man with power electronics soundtracking the miasma. On the 19th of June at Trough in Fallowfield, the events night, which calls itself I Dare You, presents an evening of punky pandemonium, disorderly DIY and electric post-punk. On stage will be Kieten Schweiss, Veladrome and Lesbian Goat Disco. More psychedelia now from heaven and hell. I had the documentation right here before me on my desk, and, given time, given a little bit of dedication, we're going to get through it. So here goes. On the 20th of June at the Soup Kitchen, Grey Lantern and Soup Kitchen present A Midsummers Dream, featuring Liverpudlians Mugstar, who are amongst the most intense purveyors of repetition-based euphoria in the land, Druss and Dwellings, who are a sonically abrasive industrial-leaning offshoot from Gnod, and Horrid, who are a brand new sense-twisting band from Manchester. Finally, on the 28th of June at the King's Arms in Salford, promoters Helmets for Men bring to attendees the Moods, who have recently been seen around Manchester standing on a giant soapbox, Manchester antagonists Rapid Pig, who have been terrorising, delighting and baffling listeners in equal measure, and Liverpudlians Taser Puppets, who play vocal-driven music with vigour, tightly laced with dark humour. If you weren't mentioned on today's broadcast, rest assured that you will be, assuming you titillate the particular imagination of this academic. And, in the end, that is all I am, a watcher, a chronicler, and a scribe. You are the story, and I but the beholder.